Hey, good Wednesday evening, everybody. It's Chief Meteorologist Brad Panovich. Thanks for tuning in to Live Weather Impact this evening. Another picture-perfect day, though we did have some clouds and showers for a time today, which we knew was going to happen. I'll be honest, I got a little nervous it was going to bust the forecast for a while, but sure enough, as those showers and storms try to push east into the Piedmont, they encountered that stable, dry air that we've had for the last couple of days and just kind of vanished like that. And right now, it's beautiful out there. Let's take a look outside right now on our quad cam. We can look across our region on our Mr. Sparky camera network. We'll start with Monroe, Dallas, Lake Norman, Charlotte. You're just seeing a lot of blue skies out there. It actually is a very comfortable evening out there. Most temperatures are in the 70s right now, and that cloud cover to the west actually helped cool things down just a little bit earlier this afternoon. Now this morning it was still picture perfect. I mean, look at 59 in Charlotte. This is 3 nights in a row in the 50s. We'll take that. Some low 50s in other neighborhoods. So it was a crisp, cool start again this morning. But as I mentioned, we had a little cluster of showers. They're gone now, but they started over in Tennessee and Kentucky. They pushed east. There's a stalled front over there. It's kind of washing out. And kind of what we anticipated. We knew we'd see some rain in the mountains, but they made it pretty far east until they fell apart over the foothills and the northwest Piedmont. What I'm watching is this front up to the northwest. This is actually a much bigger front. This is the big front. This is the front for the weekend that is going to cool us down. The problem with strong fronts, and Tim and I were talking about this yesterday, they pull warm, humid air up ahead of them. So the next 24 to 36 hours, you're going to see warm air surge up, and there's already an example of that on our map. Look at Nashville, Tennessee right now. It's 89 degrees. I mean, so we've got hot, humid air ahead of this front. So what happens is these fronts move down. The flow is southwest out ahead of them. And so you start to see warm, humid air surging up this way as the front gets closer and closer. So that surge of warm and humid air will start to be felt tomorrow, really ramp up on Friday, and by Saturday, it's just going to be kind of steamy. So tomorrow, 86, that's the hottest we've been in a while, but that's actually close to our normal high for this time of year. It will be noticeably more humid, just a 20% chance of a stray shower or a thunderstorm. And I say thunderstorm because we could see a couple isolated thunderstorms tomorrow. As this front gets close to the mountains, I do think we'll hear some thunder and see some lightning strikes showing up on the radar as we go into the morning, afternoon hours tomorrow. We'll see how many make it east. Our futurecast close up will kind of show you 6 a.m., no rain really out there by noon, a few sprinkles in the mountains. But look at this, a little cluster of storms developing over in Tennessee and eastern Kentucky. Make a run at the mountains by 6 o'clock. So tomorrow, Tim and I might be talking about some storms on the radar. You can see those kind of moving into the mountains. As we get later in the evening, one of these tries to push east into the Piedmont. So we'll see if this happens. I'm a little bit skeptical of that. This is just one piece of guidance because, like we've seen, there's just not enough energy and lift east of the mountains. But don't be surprised. 20% chance of a stray thunderstorm tomorrow, especially in the mountains and foothills. There is a low end chance one could be strong, but even that, I'm not super confident we're going to see much because the ingredients aren't there. And by Saturday, really hot, humid day, southwest flow, and that starts to warm things up. Speaking of that hot air, we'll go into tomorrow, mid-80s, close to 90 on Friday, and then look at Saturday, low 90s ahead of that cold front. But then the front pushes through, and you can see the cooler air that begins to filter in for the upcoming end of the weekend and especially early next week. If you love this kind of early taste of autumn, we're going to get back to that. Next week, highs upper 70s, low 80s, morning lows in the upper 50s to near 60. Now, we joked we might have jinxed it. The 90-degree days might not be done, but even if they were, we would still have more this year than we did all of last year. We had 47 for the whole year last year. We're up to 51 right now. Haven't seen one since the middle of August, which has been a long time. I think we could have 2 opportunities to add to this list, Friday and Saturday. Certainly Saturday looks the best chance, but even on Friday we could add to it. It is going to get more humid, not muggy, not air you can wear, but more humid. Dew points in the 60s the next couple of days. To me, that's what you'll notice more than anything. A little warmer air, not a big deal, but when it gets a little more humid, it makes it feel even warmer. So it's like doubling up the temperature a little bit. So we're actually going to have to deal with some heat indices that actually make it feel like it's maybe closer to 90. We talked about this yesterday. This is going to be Gabrielle. I think it's just a matter of time. 80% chance now. The good news, it is so far out there. in the tropics that we've got a ton of time. Now, it would not be anywhere near us in 7 days. It would only be right here, just entering the Caribbean. But strong signals in the guidance that this is going to recurve and become a fish storm. Here's the list, and just to show you where we are. Only one hurricane so far, and that was Aaron. Gabrielle has a chance to be a hurricane, but it's certainly going to get a name. Tropical storm only needs 39-mile-per-hour winds, warm core, and a low-level center to get that. The steering currents got the Bermuda Ridge, which is that big red area out in the middle of the Atlantic. That's what's steering it right now, and actually going to steer it for probably the next 7 days. As we go into this weekend, that ridge is pretty consistent, but by the middle of next week, and this is next Saturday, what's next Saturday? The 13th, I think. It's not this Saturday. It's next Saturday. You could see this trough over the East Coast. The ridge is back here, so whatever is out here is going to get steered off to the north. We call these fish storms, right? You may have heard that term. I use it a lot. People are like, what's a fish storm? Meaning the storm is only going to impact fish. So it's just going to be over water. It's kind of a name that we give storms that we know aren't going to impact land, and that's a good thing. And the reason we're pretty confident in this is there's a lot of signs of this East Coast trough, and so this is going into next weekend. So this is the 9th through the 13th. You see that cooler pattern over the eastern half of the country, including here in the Carolinas. If we're going to be cool and have cold fronts coming down here, we're not going to get tropical systems. The same mechanism that keeps us cool and fall-like and brings cold fronts down here is the exact same mechanism in steering currents that keeps tropical systems away. So there's a lot of evidence that that's going to be the case. So the weekend forecast, it's never too early to look at the weekend, especially here on a Wednesday. 91 Saturday. We got a lot going on. 2 home games for 2 of our local D1 teams. Also, Charlotte Ascent has their home opener. We'll keep an eye on the storm chance. Definitely going to have some lightning risk on Saturday. We'll have to keep an eye on 80 on Sunday. But when we look at the 7-day forecast, you can see probably a 3-day stretch of what I would call hot or humid weather for Thursday, Friday, and then into Saturday. And then next week, here comes autumn. It returns. Typical September. We get a little heat and a little bit of fall. That is normal for September. And for those asking, I had some people, we actually had a text on this, Jeb. People thought we screwed up the App State Charlotte logos. Okay, here's the deal. They both have home games. They do not play each other. Yes, I am aware they played last week. So our policy here at WCNC is we'd like to put the D1 football programs, their home games, on our 7-day. Last week, we only had the C for the 49ers because that game was technically a home game for them. This week, I think App State plays Linwood, which I have never heard of before, Jeb. Is that a D2 school or subdivision school? I don't know. I've never heard of it. But they play Linwood at home, by the way, at 3:30. And Charlotte, the 49ers, play the Fighting Bill Belichick's from UNC. They're coming down here to play at Charlotte, which should be a really interesting game.
Should be a close game.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a telling game. I watched Charlotte last week. It's always tough. The first game, we could probably talk college football this whole show, but first game of the season is always tough. There's no preseason in college football. You got young kids. It's their first time playing. So sometimes there's a lot of change from the first week to the next couple of weeks. So we'll see what happens. But I just wanted to clear that up because we had somebody text and say, hey, you got that on the wrong day or you kept it up from last week. No. They both have home games. They just don't play each other. It just was ironic that they played each other last week.